Welcome back to the MB Inspired series. My guest today is Ajay Bijli. And Ajay, it looks like you've expanded yet into another industry altogether, the hospitality world.
Yeah, can you believe it? I didn't realize that the whole director's cut foray will force us into getting into hospitality. So what started off as an experiment is becoming like a full-fledged F&B operation now.
And a blessing in disguise, I suppose, because I hear the money's in F&B, you know.
Yeah, F&B is an important part of the business, and the whole business model really works on, but so far it was all popcorn and cola, nachos, hot dogs, which is more, something that people eat on the go, and it's movie food. But with this venture, it's like a proper, sit-down dining experience. The variety is much more, the quality, the service. So it's fun. It's a new thing which, we've gotten into by default, and it's enjoyable.
How do you divide your time between your sort of existing exhibition business and the new ventures or initiatives that you're trying to get into?
I think still I would say 80% of the management time is in exhibition business. Okay. But as I said, we've got quite a few screens coming up. So I also don't want to open screens for the heck of it, because a lot of people measure you by how many screens do you have. And that's not the right measurement, I believe, because return on capital employed, your IRRs, we are a listed company, we need to get the right EBITDA margins, the PAT margins. So it has to be profitable growth. So I think 80% of my time still is on this aspect, whether what we've created and what is coming in the pipeline, all that is okay or not. Then there is some time left still to look at evaluating new business opportunities which fit into the PVR scheme of things.
What about mentors? I'm sure you had a few along the way and still do. Who might some of them be?
Well, number one would be my dad, who unfortunately passed away. Then my mom. Mom is a big guiding force. I continue to spend as much time as I can with her. So even today before coming, I had my breakfast and speak to her. So she's been a big guiding force. On the business side, Mr. Mittal, Sunil Mittal, I do take advice from him at critical points only, when I think something very serious, like IPO was one such critical moment. Before that, private equity, when that came.
I believe he also advised you into a Harvard management program.
That's right, that's right. Yeah. This is right after the first multiplex opened. And I knew that maybe something we've hit upon, because the response was very, very good. But how do you make it scalable was always bothering me, because I didn't want it to be like a mom and pop operation. So then I thought, he said, this would be a good course for me. Owners management program in Harvard, which I did for 3 years, but divided into 3 weeks each year. So it's like a very fast-track MBA degree you get. So he guided me, and that really sort of opened my eyes. It really worked for me. So he's one gentleman, Mr. Aniljit Singh of Max India. Then Renuka Ramnath, ICICI Venture. She used to be with ICICI Venture, and she did her first equity investment out of our fund into PVR in 2003. But now she's got her own fund. But she's somebody I take a lot of advice from. And then another gentleman I've got who's on the board now, Mr. Sinha, and he advises me a lot on critical junctures and whenever I find that there's too much confusion in my head.
And now sort of the world comes full circle, and I'm sure you'll be inspiring a lot of future entrepreneurs out there.
Well, I still haven't got a call from anyone.
Nobody? Okay, we'll change that. How do you divide personal and professional time?
I think one is really having a good management team. And I think communicating what you want out of everybody very clearly over and over again. I don't think that job descriptions on a paper is the answer. I think the answer is to communicate with your top team a hell of a lot, and actually make them also understand the importance of a work-life balance. So once they understand what your core values are, then I guess they also give you enough free time then to be able to create that balance.
So would you say your family says they see you enough, or are you just never home?
Is there an interview with them as well? Well, I think
one that you don't know about,
Well, so far I think there's not too many complaints, because again at critical points, you need to be there. Again, mom is a great guiding force to ensure that I didn't get carried away with just business side only, and so that's very important. My brother is a big influence on me. He's 5 years younger than me, but at the same time, he's always there to ensure that enough time is being divided. My daughters have all grown up. My elder one is 20, the other one is 18, and my son is 13. So by they do demand and need my attention.
Do you think your daughters are going to be following in your footsteps?
They're big movie buffs.
Yeah.
I have no idea what's on their mind, but all I know is that they're way above average movie buffs than I was their age. So they're studying at the moment. It's too early to say anything, but they do come and audit this place and all the cinemas when they come. They have some great suggestions to give, but it's too early to say what they're going to do.
Now your last name, your surname, I believe has a little bit of an interesting story behind it.
Yeah.
Shall I prompt you? Or
My grandfather, he got this alias or title, during the 1947 and all that, Bijli Pahalwan. But otherwise, our family name is Mehra.
Okay.
But he got this, and then he just sort of inherited it, and he accepted it. And then my dad also Kishan Mohan Bijli. So by the time I was born, it was already there. So I didn't have much to question why am I called Bijli. But this is the story that I hear from my mom, that in 48 or 49 is when all this happened.
It's got a real ring to it.
Yeah. So
and it may, who knows, you may diversify into the power sector one day.
I don't know.
Okay, now I've also heard that you have a bit of a rock star sort of vibe about you. Is that right? You were in a rock band at one point?
My God, did you Google the right name or something else?
I'm just wondering if it was glam, metal, or punk. What was your avatar?
I used to be fond of singing.
Okay. Oh, you were a singer.
Yeah.
Great.
So we had like any other Delhi, college boy.
Okay.
We had a band, and it was called Modus Operandi.
Okay.
And we used to do just stuff like Def Leppard, Phil Collins, Genesis.
Can we get a little demo?
Not really. Completely out of touch. It was fun,
Now, you don't look like a man who really takes a lot of time off. But I'm sure some Sundays you just want to sort of give this all up. And is it more about a lazy lunch, watching a movie, coming back to work and watching a movie, or just staying in bed all day? What's your?
I think Sundays I tend not to come to the cinemas.
No,
because if I do, then I start auditing.
Oh,
but Sundays I'm typically at home.
Okay.
I mean, I can go for lunch and stuff like that with the family.
Yeah.
But Saturdays I'm also is like a semi-off, but then I'm visiting the properties, because that's a good time to see what's really going on at the bowling center, at the cinemas, and just sort of make your list of what are the improvements we can do. So I think Saturdays are reserved for that, but Sundays is completely BlackBerry off, and not really getting involved with work at all.
We're going to slip into a break right now, but don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with the MB Inspired series.